How dieting affects the body and emotion. Turn on your TV, open a newspaper, or boot up your computer, and you're bound to get some confusing news about diet and health. Don't let it drive you to distraction or to the donut shop. Instead, remember 4 key facts. What you eat affects your appearance, your thinking, your mood, your energy and comfort, but above all, your health. How dieting affects the body and emotion. America is on the wrong track. 2 out of every 3 of us are overweight or obese. Diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease are on the rise. Heart attacks, strokes, and cancer are distressingly common. Many factors contribute to these complex problems, but the basic reasons are simple. We eat too much and we choose the wrong food, and we don't get enough exercise. Good eating is not a punishment, but an opportunity. If you know why it's important and what to do, you'll find eating both enjoyable and satisfying. And if you establish an overall pattern of healthy nutrition, you'll have plenty of leeway to savor the treats that matter most. Here are some tips to create a healthful diet you can enjoy. Learn to think about food in a new way. Years ago, meat and potatoes were the American ideal. Now we know that vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, and fish are better for us. Experiment with new recipes and meal plans. Be creative and take chances. Instead of dreading your new diet, have fun with it. Change slowly. By the time you're 40, you'll have eaten around 40,000 meals and lots of snacks. Give yourself time to change, targeting 1 item a week. Be relaxed about your diet. You will never find a perfect food, and not everything on your plate needs to have a higher purpose. Take your taste and preferences into account. If roast beef is your favorite food, it's okay to eat it, but try to make it a Sunday treat instead of a daily staple. The choices are yours, and the better your overall diet, the more leeway you'll have to indulge your passion. Take a long-range view. Don't get down on yourself if you slip up or cheat from time to time. Don't worry about every meal, much less every mouthful. Your nutritional peaks and valleys will balance out if your overall dietary pattern is sound. But dieting doesn't stop there. Emotional well-being is really the key to effective weight loss. A very wise man once said, "As a man or woman thinketh in their heart, so are they." We've heard much and more about what positive thinking can do for us, but it can only do so much. The path to effective implementation of change is comprised of 3 things: emotions, thoughts, and behavior. The recent emphasis on changing how we think in order to improve our lifestyle has been a step up from what we've done before. You cannot be forced into changing your habits and behaviors solely by focusing on the physical manifestation of those changes. The missing ingredient is emotional well-being. We tend to value our bodies more than we do our minds. Hence, the persistent emphasis on external beauty and optimum weight, whatever that is. We forget that the mind is where everything happens. We forget that there is an entire subconscious dedicated to the execution of tasks we do not think about. The subconscious mind remembers how to tie shoelaces, and you are not required to consciously think about it and complete each step of that process. The same cannot be said of our emotional processing. At best, we're able to recognize and pinpoint the exact emotion we are experiencing. At worst, the emotion remains unattended and runs amok in our system. If especially intense, and those are the ones that count, the emotion will influence our entire state of mind. That state of mind directs where we focus our attention. And where we focus our attention is where we do the work. If we are depressed as a result of being overweight, we will notice that we are depressed. Then we become especially aware that we're depressed. Our focus will remain on the fact that we can feel that we are depressed and that this feeling is real. We end up effectively trapping ourselves in that one state of mind. Meanwhile, everything that we end up not doing because of that will only serve to prolong that feeling of imprisonment even when we lose weight. What then is the key to changing our state of mind? In his 2014 TED Talk, psychologist and author Guy Wentz points to the seriousness of emotional injuries and the reason we should all practice emotional first aid. We should feel compelled to practice emotional hygiene with the same fervor we brush our teeth every day. Emotions are an integral part of the human experience and they cannot be walked off. This is why weight loss is not simply dieting the weight off. The body we wear matters little. What matters is who wears the body. Practicing emotional well-being is our key to a healthier life. The world will not care for who we are inside, but if we ourselves do not take care, we will only continue as we were and nothing will change. Transform your emotional health. Your emotional health should never be neglected as it affects either directly or indirectly both your mental and physical health. An emotionally healthy you is one who can take care of your relationships, handle failure and success in equal measures, and not be weighed down by life's constant challenges. Therefore, emotional health is indispensable when it comes to your overall health. Feelings and affections are important parts of both mental and physical health. The ability to give and receive affection affects intellectual and brain performance. If these feelings are not attended to, then the delicate chemistry of the brain is altered. For example, feelings of satisfaction and accomplishment help prevent depression, which is a mental health disorder. Another instance are your spiritual beliefs, which can affect your health. A recent study showed that people who espouse strong spiritual beliefs have a better preserved cognitive function than those who don't. This means that the nurturing of a spiritual dimension in a person's life, like reading of sacred text or meditating, helps keep the mind agile and alert. Spiritual people are also known to have a strong, supportive network of friends who look out for them. These relationships meet their emotional needs of being loved and respected and make them more likely to practice healthy habits, which have a positive effect on their mental health. A healthy body and a healthy mind are somehow intertwined. When one is affected, the other sympathizes. One area affected by human emotions is the immune system. The immune system requires constant physical activity, a healthy diet, minimal to no stress, and positive emotional states in order to function well. Scientists call this effect of emotions on physical health the placebo effect. For example, depression and negative thoughts make you susceptible to diseases affecting the immune system, like asthma, rheumatoid arthritis, and cancer. During the time of my own personal crisis, I experienced a bombardment of negative emotions, ultimately producing cancer-like symptoms in my body. On the other hand, positive emotions stimulate the production of endorphins. These are happy hormones that give you a feeling of well-being and also act as immune system boosters. being kind to others, donating old things to charity, and laughing are some ways in which one can raise their endorphin level. Low self-esteem and personal worth are two aspects of emotional health that plague millions of people worldwide. Having dignity and self-worth and not listening to negative opinions can help a person live a healthy lifestyle, as emotional stability helps cultivate healthy eating habits. Loving yourself can prevent succumbing to eating disorders like bulimia, anorexia, and obesity. Stable emotional health is key to both mental and physical health because thoughts and feelings are nutrition for the mind. For the human body to achieve maximum health levels, a balance of these emotional nutrients are needed to create a healthy, happy, and creative person. Weight loss and emotional healing. You have probably heard of the quote, "Life is like a roller coaster." Think about how a roller coaster works. It goes up and down. Life is similar to a roller coaster ride, and so are your relationships. You have your bright days and you have your dark days. You give your loyalty and trust to your partner, but sometimes you do not get back what you give. He or she may betray your trust, they may cheat or choose to break up with you. And these will be nothing but heart-wrenching, resulting in extreme emotional trauma, thus creating a system imbalance. When this happens, you may find it difficult to rise above the setback. You may feel alone and distraught, and this is completely normal. Nevertheless, it is crucial to look at the best ways to recover from emotional trauma. More often than not, we resort to unhealthy ways to deal with this type of pain. Overeating and rebound relationships are on the top of the list. So now we have two temporary band-aids that only make matters worse. The possibility of overeating, damaging our physical health, and inviting someone into our lives who's only there to take advantage of our pain. So what else should you do? Are there safer and healthier alternatives? Dealing with emotional pain. Find a confidant. You may be inclined to think you are the only person that has been heartbroken, but in reality, millions of people have gone through the same thing. Confide in someone you trust, someone who can give you a shoulder to lean on. Close friends can give you great advice on how to handle the situation, as well as offer emotional support. Consider sharing your predicament on social forums. Most people will be willing to help you. And you never know, you may be able to help someone else at the same time. Take some time to heal. You've gone through a tough emotional episode in your life, and it is best to confront the situation head on. Denial will not do you any good at this time. It will only intensify the emotional pain. You can decide to take a break from dating and figure out aspects of your life that you need to work on. You should read, write, watch inspirational movies, or you can pray and meditate. Everyone has his or her way of venting. The bottom line is finding the courage to face the challenge. Be optimistic. Things may not have turned out as you expected. You may also tend to beat yourself down for having gone through the drama. Remember, it's not what you go through, but the lessons you take from your bad experience. Not everyone has good intentions, but at the same time, not everyone is out to crush your self-esteem. Learn from your experience and be optimistic about yourself and life. Eventually, you will heal. Keep busy. This point cannot be emphasized enough. Emotional pain can make you lock yourself out of the world. You are probably afraid to face the world, and you see it as an unsafe place with no one to trust. Spending all your time sulking is detrimental to your personal growth as well as your health. This is where depression usually sets in. Try as much as you can to interact with friends and family. Take up a hobby and get busy doing things you enjoy. Remember, every experience, when you choose to press through it, just makes you wiser and stronger. Do not seek revenge. Revenge is tempting when you think of the person that did you wrong. You probably want to use the tit for tat card. You may think that this will help you, but in reality, it is just a way to self-destruct. It consumes a lot of your energy, and you subconsciously allow your life to revolve around the person who hurt you. Revenge is not worth it, and it will certainly not heal your emotional pain. Instead, focus on how you can improve your life and take steps in the right direction. Begin to focus on your purpose. Why are you here? Emotional pain can break your heart, but do not let it ruin your life. Give yourself time to heal, be optimistic, and learn and grow from your experience. Mindfulness and your transformation. It is a well-known fact that dieting is 20% physical and 80% mental. The physical part is easy to understand. You eat less, you eat smarter, and you exercise. The mental part, however, is where dieting becomes tricky. When dieting, it can take immense willpower to keep oneself from indulging in treats or overeating, especially in times of stress or around groups of people. Mindfulness, which is the practice of engaging your mind and checking in with yourself mentally, can help with these struggles. Mindfulness can be practiced several different ways. The most common form of mindfulness is meditation, which is the practice of deep breathing in a quiet space to clear the mind. Meditation can help impact a dieter's life in many different ways, including calming the dieter in times of stress or by giving the dieter something to do rather than eating. Meditation can be guided or done by oneself. All that's required is a comfortable space and either calming background noise or silence. If you choose to practice meditation, be sure that you're in a space where you won't be interrupted for the period of time you choose to meditate. Meditation can be difficult to maintain in practice, and you may feel antsy when you first begin to practice. This is normal, but with continued meditation, it's easy to overcome. If you are new to meditation, begin first by setting aside 10 minutes in your day. Find a quiet, comfortable space where you won't be interrupted, and sit or lay down however you feel comfortable. It may be helpful to set a timer at this point. Begin by focusing on your breathing. Notice how your breath moves through your body. Do this until you feel comfortable with your breathing, and then begin deeply breathing in through your nose for 4 counts, holding it for 2 counts, and releasing it through your nose for 4 counts. Focus only on your breathing during this time, and try not to let any other thoughts enter your head. It can be helpful to imagine your head as an empty room, and if thoughts try to creep into this room, push them out and shut the door so they can't get back in. Do this for 10 minutes or as long as it feels comfortable to you. Once you've gotten into the practice of meditation, you may wish to start meditating on the goals you have set for yourself with your diet. If your goal is to reduce your cholesterol level, for example, during your meditation time, you may want to focus your energy on ways to do this, or on the ways in which achieving this goal will help you feel healthier. Meditation is a mental process, and meditating frequently has been proven to help reduce stress levels, especially in people who are actively working towards goals in their lives. Mindfulness is not simply limited to meditation, however. Mindfulness can be practiced at any time of the day. To begin practicing mindfulness, start with a simple exercise. At any point in your day, close your eyes. Feel your body. Does anything ache or hurt? If so, why? What can you do to ease this pain? Is your body tired? Does it need fuel? Have you been kind to your body today? Or have you been putting it through something stressful? Count in your head very slowly to 10, noticing how your breath enters and exits your body. It may be helpful to research the different energizing pressure points on your body and to massage them gently. Open your eyes. If you perform this exercise correctly, you should have a better understanding of how your body feels at any given point you choose to attempt the exercise. Practicing this exercise can also be helpful when feelings of hunger begin to appear. When you check in with your body during a mindfulness exercise, ask yourself whether you are truly hungry, or if you're thirsty, bored, angry, tired, or any number of other feelings. One of the most important impacts of mindfulness on dieting is that it can help dieters to eat less frequently, while developing the willpower to avoid eating unhealthily or excessively. During these check-ins, you can ask yourself whether you're making the choices you need to make in the restaurant, cafeteria, or at the store, or whether or not your body is actually full during a meal. Mindfulness also promotes self-love and being kind to your body. Your body does so much for you on any given day, and it's important to take care of yourself, especially through the process of dieting. Practicing mindfulness can ensure that you aren't starving your body of the nutrients it needs, nor giving it anything it doesn't need to perform optimally. Mindfulness also helps you to feel more in tune with your body, which has been linked to greater feelings of happiness and self-confidence. It can be daunting to start spending so much time with yourself, especially if you have negative feelings towards your body. But these feelings do eventually go away with time. Mindfulness must be an essential part of your total transformation, which includes your dieting experience. Losing weight requires a changed perspective. When you think of weight loss, what are the first feelings that pop into your head? For many, thoughts of hunger pains coupled with strict dieting and hours of sweating it out on cardio machines at the gym are common. However, what if when you think of losing weight, your mind instantly creates images of finally being able to fit into those skinny jeans or not being afraid to take your shirt off at the beach? What if you focused on the things you would gain instead of what you would have to give up? The power of perspective can be a useful tool in realizing your weight loss goals. By taking your current situation and putting a positive spin on it, you can access the motivation you need to get started and shed the extra pound. Though weight loss will not occur overnight, changing your perspective can. Accepting the task of incorporating a more optimistic outlook on life is the first step. Create a daily reminder for yourself, such as a simple note placed on the fridge with the words, "Stay positive," or an alert on your phone that pops up throughout the day. Whenever a stressful situation occurs, use this reminder to help you through it. Got a long commute to work that is sure to induce road rage? Put in your favorite music and crank up the volume. That 45-minute drive is now your chance to have a mini jam session in your car. This new outlook, or the outlook I stress over and over again throughout my book, will begin to translate to other aspects of your life, such as your self-image. One of the most important things you can do is learn to love yourself. What about you? Would you not trade you for anything in the world? Your eyes, your hair, Your smile? Don't just pick one thing. Name everything you love about yourself. Make your fabulous features your focus and flaunt it. You are much more than your externals. Weight included. Flip the script. By focusing on what you have and seeing every event or situation that occurs in your life as an opportunity to gain instead of losing, you will begin to notice that those tasks which you thought were so challenging before, such as losing weight, are not that unattainable after all. Dieting is an opportunity for you to eat all the fruits and vegetables you love. Exercising is an opportunity for you to now go outside and finally get to explore your neighborhood, feel confident at the gym, or hike those trails you have always heard about. Changing your perspective can greatly increase your emotional, mental, and physical health, and will help your journey from diet desperation to total transformation. To get a copy of my book, Diet Desperation, Total Transformation, just click on the link in the description. Like, share, comment. Subscribe to Total Transformation channel.